Good morning, K Little Readers. This is Miss Gia. We are going to be working again on finding a book on our accelerated reader reading level so that we can take quizzes on books on our level and show that we are growing as readers. I borrowed a folder from a first grade teacher so that we can practice. Let's turn it around and see. So in this folder, my range is 2.5 to 3.0. That means a 2 and 5 through 3 and 0. That dash is like from 2 and 5 through 3 and 0. From 2 and 5 to 3 and 0. So if we wrote it out, it would be 2 and 5, or 2 and 6, or 2 and 7, or 2 and 8, or 2 and 9, or 3 and 0. So when I go over to the green label section, you can see over here, I want a 2 and 0, 2 and 5 to 3 and 0. So could I get books from this shelf, 0 and 9 to 1 and 0? Well, 1 and 0 is a whole lot lower than 2 and 0. So let me go ahead and go down to the next shelf stack. This one says ER levels 1 and 8 through 1 and 9. Well, now we're getting close-ish. I need 2 and 5. 2 and 0 to 2 and 1, 2 and 2 to 2 and 3. 2 and 3 is getting closer to 2 and 5, so let's go down one more stack. And I can see a book that somebody did not use their shelf marker on, and take good care of the library because it is backwards. I'll have to come back and fix that. So this shelf, 2 and 4 through 2 and 5. My level says that I should get starting at a 2 and 5. So I could go to this shelf and find 2 and 5. If I look at the red spine labels, 2 and 4, so there's a whole bunch of them in the wrong spot, and then 2 and 5. So should I pick a 2 and 4 or a 2 and 5? I would get a 2 and 5. Okay, if we go down the next shelf, 2 and 6 through 2 and 7, would that be books that I could get? Yes, because that is in between 2 and 5 and 3 and 0. And on the next shelf, 2 and 8 to 2 and 9. Could I get books on that level? Yes, 2 and 8 and 2 and 9 are in between 2 and 5 and 3 and 0. So I could get from the end of this shelf, 2 and 5, any book from this shelf, and any book from this shelf. These are all the early reader everybody books, the fiction books. There's the end of the giraffe. If we just turn around, now we're looking at the back of the orange tiger, the alligator, the lion. These are the early reader nonfiction books. And it looks like there's a glare from the sunlight, so let's scoot down and see. This shelf says early reader nonfiction. Those are fact books 2.0 to 2.3. So I need to look for 2.5 to 3.0. So this shelf would not have books on my level because 2 and 5 is more than 2 and 3. Look down at the next shelf. It says 2 and 4 through 2 and 8. So could I get a 2 and 4? No, that doesn't fall in my levels, but I could get from this shelf 2 and 5, 2 and 6, 2 and 7, or 2 and 8. And if I looked at the spines, 2 and 4, I couldn't get those, so I keep going down until I find 2 and 5. I could choose any of the 2 and 5s, or a 2 and 6, or a 2 and 7, or a 2 and 8. Could I go down to the next shelf? Yes, because I could still get 2 and 9, or 3 and 0. So I hope that helps you to be able to find a book on your level. We're going to keep on working it, and I hope to see everybody growing as readers.